I'm going to try a no-sew journal. I've seen this demonstrated a number of times lately. It's come across my YouTube when I'm surfing there, and I wanted to give this a try. Of course, I've never done one before. I'm just trying to share my video with myself so I can follow along for more an easier way to do this. If there is, I haven't learned it yet. Go find my link. There's my video. And I just want to make sure I'm on mute so that I don't give you feedback. There we go. I think we're good. Okay, if there's anyone there, can you just let me know if you can hear me, if the video is okay? Okay. Okay, there we go. Well, hello everybody. I just want to try one of these no-sew journals, and in my typical fashion, I did not announce that I was going live. I never do. Oops, let me get you straight here. I've seen these demonstrated and I want to try them. Hi Connie, thank you. Oh, there's Sherry. Hi Sherry. Sherry Mills. You guys are my OG crew. I know you are. Someone asked recently for me to demonstrate how I fill my bottles. What do you call them? My precision bottles. Sorry, just stepping over top of the dog. So there's my large 16-ounce refill art glitter glue, and then any one of these should work. I'm just going to grab a what's your nose there, Ruby? This is like a dollar store glue bottle. If I can get it off, yes. So most glue bottles have a standard size lid, so you'd be surprised if you grab some of your stash. Oh, everything's tight. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's a horrible sound. This hand, I see this scar here. I broke this bone. This finger was hanging straight down, and I've had surgery there twice. So I have like no real grip strength in my left hand anymore. I have some. It's a lot better than it was. When that happened, my bigger concern was that I wouldn't be able to splay to type anymore, but eventually I could. It took a really long time, but yeah. So anyways, I take this lid and then I put it on my big refill bottle, and then that's how I fill these. It's a lot less messy than using a funnel, and then you don't have to clean the funnel after. Hello from Germany. Hi, Maxima. Hello, thanks for being here. What time is it in Germany? Okay, let's see here. And then just a slow. That's it. It takes about, I don't know, a minute. So we can just catch up while I'm doing this. So I want to try this no-sew journal where you use strips of paper to hinge the pages of your journal, each page of your signature together with a piece of paper, or you use the page itself with a flip, a shorter flip, like not a, you'll see what I mean in a minute. You've probably done one of these before. I always seem to be late to the party and trying these things. Oh, another one from Germany. It's afternoon, 4 p.m. Okay, I'm at 10 a.m. here in Canada. Hi, Suzanne from Germany as well. Okay. Oh. It's coming. It's slowly, I don't know if you can see, it's slowly filling up. But this is how I do it. So I buy these little refill bottles, precision bottles from Amazon. And then I also get my glue from Amazon. I can't order it in the winter months, they won't ship it. But I make sure I am stocked. This bottle, this big guy, will last me a year plus anyway. I waste a lot less using these little precision bottles, that's for sure. So I think that's what makes this last so long is you use very little glue, for one thing, instead of gobs and gobs of glue. And then the other thing is, of course, there's very little waste. So I think that's what makes it last so long. So we have a gray day here. It's kind of, we finally got some rain last couple of nights, which I have been enjoying. I have my back porch has like a roof, a covered porch, tin roof, and they have privacy walls on the side, and then it's wide open to the back. And I found a couch, like a patio couch on Facebook Marketplace. So I bought a nice thick sponge mattress for that and some, what do you call them, patio cushions. Put some pillows out there and some blankets. And I have to tell you, that's been on my wish list for a long time, was to have a couch or a resting area on my back porch so I could just thoroughly enjoy my retirement and just lounge out there on my couch in the outdoors, but I'm protected by the roof. So it's such it's one of my favorite things to do is sit out there or lay out there on that porch, maybe scroll, Instagram or Pinterest or something, or just rest, have a nap, especially when it's raining because I love the sound of the rain on the tin roof. And I'm out there in the fresh air, my dog's laying beside me. Can you just leave that? Sure, you could. I'm just trying to keep it as airtight as possible. So I guess if I could just take the cap from this big 16 ounce and put it on the dollar store glue bottle. I could do that. But this also helps me. I probably won't though, but that's a good idea, Connie. But for demonstrating this, I would probably always have like this. Okay, so that's about half full. Happy with that, or maybe even a little more than half. And I don't have any rags with me right now. Wasn't super prepared. And this just goes back on here. It's gonna have to use paper. Oh no, I do have a paper towel here. So that is how I do it now. I can't remember who asked me, but it was in one of the videos, I think, from the Flip Flop Journal series. Somebody asked me how I fill my these guys up. There. Okay, so a no-sew journal. Oops. Get this back on. Have you guys done these before? Like I said, I'm always like late to the party at trying things. And I don't mind learning with you here if you're also learning how to do these, because we can figure out the issues or problems or together. And I thought on a live this would be great, because then for those of you that have done these, I could pick your brain and get your help. So I'm just going to fold these art glitter glue, I believe, is not water-based. I think it is, let's double check. It's so tiny, it's hard to read. I should know this, and I do know this, it's just I don't know it at the moment. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I think it's What's the word I'm looking for? Oh no, it is. Sorry. It's water-based. Permanent water-based, non-toxic, dries, acid-free. It is water-based. That's right too. What's the other word I'm looking for? I know some people are concerned about it bubbling. Well, I think part of that is if you use too much glue. But I don't really seem to have an issue with it whatsoever. Right. Let me see. Let's just start with 2 here, just so you can see what I'm getting at. So I'm going to use the lines on my mat to try to keep myself straight. And I don't even know how wide to make these. This is a guess. I'll do various sizes, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Let's try one this wide. Okay, I think the point of it is, if I was going to have these 2 pages side by side in my journal, like that you glue this on like this. I'm sure that's it. And I don't know if you're supposed to fold these in half or not, crease them. I think I just folded that in half. I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but I think that I just want to use it for lining things up. Rita, you use that glue all the time and you like it. Thanks. Yeah, Rita, I do too. This is my go-to glue. I quite like this one. But it might look like a lot of glue because of the coverage I'm putting on there, but it's so thin. Like it's barely there. Hi, Maddie. Oh, yeah, I haven't tried this before. Have you done this before? Madeline Diet Designs. I'm trying this no-sew hinge journal. Not a hinge journal. Well, I guess technically it's a hinge journal. It's not in the way we prepare the hinges like I did that one. It's just a matter of gluing either strips. Where have I seen this done? Meg Journals is one I've seen do this. I'm really bad. I really should start writing things down because I watch so many YouTube creators for inspiration to get ideas, and I should really write them down. Okay, I think that's the idea. And you just keep going and you just keep attaching your pages. Oh, thanks, Maddie. Yes, this is I just grabbed one of my file folders from my test print bin there, and so it's going to be a mix of everything. So right now I can tell you that's Steely Blue from the basic journal pages. That's the wedding collection, the churches from the wedding collection. This is a misprint, so I printed backwards on top of, you can see. That's the wedding collection. And then these are the new one, the French document kits that I collabed with Teresa on. Okay, and then the idea, I think, for you could do something like, well, bear with me here, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to get this right, but I think I could, no, just a second now. Let me think about that. Okay, here's a short one, for example. So this one, if it was just, you could just fold over an edge and just glue the edge of your paper to that signature. Comme ça, like that. I only have grade 10 French. I don't speak French. I don't want to try to pretend I do. I speak a little bit. Je suis parler français un peu. Just a little. Okay, that is the idea of it. Okay, and then you just keep going, and then eventually you're going to have this wonky looking spine that you can then cover up with lace or something. Hi, Jita. Hello. Lots of waves. Hello. I think that's it. I think that's the, like, isn't that simple? It seems too simple. What's happening? It feels too easy. I don't know, guys. What do you think? That can't be as simple as it is, really. Okay, let's try it without folding. Let's do it this way this time. So let's just line up our edges of this with this paper. Well, that's going to work too. Okay. Oh, hi. Oh, Maddie, you took French in college, so you can speak French. Maybe you can teach us something. I remember things like dog, cat, horse, hat, child. And I do remember, now mind you, the French I would have learned, Maddie, in high school would have been French Canadian French, not Parisian French. Because in Canada, French is our second language. And if anybody is here from Quebec, you can explain more than me, but there's rules about French. And then, of course, on all of our packaging, all of our product packaging has to have both languages. But so I know you know enough, not to, if you live in Canada, most people know enough just to, and a lot of the words are very similar. See if I can trim that off. Yeah, and then a lot of people when they, like on the news and such, and they speak, they like our government will address the country in both languages. So no, not all Canadians know how to speak French. I think the percent is pretty small in comparison. I don't know. I would dare say maybe 30%. I don't know. So yes, I would not normally do white pages, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so in middle school, your daughter's teacher was French Canadian, and her high school teacher is Parisian. Okay, so yeah, better at words and menus and conversation. I agree. I can read it probably better than I can speak it, that's for sure. I really want to try to use this somehow. So could I do this as a fold out and maybe just use this part? Let's try that. Let's wing it. Let's see what happens. We'll just keep folding it till it makes sense. So let's glue this part down. This is an authentic vintage page. It's a calculator, so to speak. So invented before calculators to do calculations on interest payments, I believe. And this was this great big huge book. It's a great book. I love it. I love the pages. Oops. Let's see. I don't even know if that's straight or not. So Maddie doesn't use digitals a lot, but I might have to start now. Yeah, I'm a big advocate for printables because of how easily you can make them look old and how nicely they mix with. So this is a vintage page. This is a tea-dyed page. And then we have a printable. So it's so easy to weave them into your journals with a mix of all three. Okay, so there's that. So then if this was a fold out or something, where's my center? There. There, and then we could do this like a pocket or a flip out or both. Oh, look at us go. Okay, so if that was like that, this could be a flip out, and then I can also glue down these two sides so that they're, well, let's tear the edge off first. So that's a pocket. That probably looks a little confusing, so I'll just flip it back again slow. Just get rid of this. I don't know, guys, we're winging it. I've never done this before. We'll see. Okay. So if that was a page in the journal and that flips out, which is great, this could also be a pocket. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Make you a pocket. Do you find that when you are making a journal that you get kind of stuck on repeat mode that, oh, I need to add more pockets, or I need to add more tucks or more belly bands? Like it becomes almost like you need to do something to every single page. There, so now we have a pocket. What can I demonstrate with? Got a bunch of envelopes right here. There. And that's the page. That is a pocket with a flip. Okay, that's exciting to know that we can do stuff like that. So what have we done so far in a few minutes? So this is what the spine is looking like. Page. So there's one strip of paper holding that together. Of course, that's the open page. So it is very similar to the hinge journal. So this page, I just used a shorter page and just folded the one end to make a flip. Here I used a big strip. And here I folded this multiple times to get a flip. I also glued the back of it to like right here to here. This section is the hinge. That's fun. Okay, this is fun. I like it. I kind of pivoted lately where I do ephemera and send on the side for the end user to place where they want. Oh, you sent, oh, like a little package of ephemera? That's a great idea, Maddie. I used to sell journals like that. I used to be in this handmade marketplace. It's called, anyways, it's a handmade marketplace. And I used to do that. I used to sell those. So I would make basically what I would call naked or plain journals. And then in that whole package, there'd be the plain journal, the starter journal, and then all of the pockets and ephemera for the person to, it's like a little journal kit. But the basic journal, the part that most people wouldn't know how to do if they were just starting, like a 3-hole pamphlet stitch sewn in with signatures. I used to sell packages like that. And where I am, junk journaling is unknown. It's not a well-known craft yet. So when I say junk journal, people, I usually get that look like ew, like a ew look from people. Like, what do you mean junk? Why would anyone want a junky journal? It's such a tough sell sometimes. Okay. And I've been hoping to get a spot at one of our local antique markets because I would like to do something similar, just like that, Maddie. Great minds think alike. Hi, Margot. Oh, you're not too late. I just got started. So Margot, what we're doing is we're trying this no-sew journal idea where you just hinge your next page to the first page. So I'm trying it 2 ways, Margot. So this is a shorter, this page is only this wide. I'm just flipping it back. And then I'm going to, I need to turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. Sorry. Line that up. Without getting my head in there. I don't know. Can I? There we go. Like that. And then now this is too wide for the journals. So what would we do? We could make a full-on pocket flip in the middle of this journal. I kind of like that idea. So that would just be like a floating pocket kind of thing. So before I glue that down, let's put the next hinge on. Let's do this one. I'm going to fold this backwards so that we have... So like this, yes. And let's get another strip. Yes, I agree, Maddie. It's it can be really overwhelming. The first time I ever saw, and some of you know this story, the first person I ever saw make a junk journal or even heard of a junk journal was, hi Christina. You didn't miss a lot. I really just got started and I never announce my lives. I'm sorry, I'm just not there yet because I'm still learning how to set the thing up in the first place. So no, you haven't really missed anything. We're making a no-sew journal, Christina. And what I'm doing is, I've never done this before, so I'm just trying this where you just hinge the next page onto the previous page by gluing a strip of paper or part of the paper itself. So that's what I'm trying here. So here's the next signature. Of course, you guys know I'm practicing. I would never leave my pages white. So just get those lined up, and then you glue this on here to attach your next. I am going to fold this time to get that line. So you haven't missed much, Christina. That's all I'm doing. Or that's what we're working on. So back to what I was saying, Maddie, about the first person I ever saw was Jessica from Paper Terrace. So I looked back, and that video is like 8 years old. And there was this young girl, and she was, or young lady, and she was showing all these journals she had made out of random things. But it was a real memory keeper. She had lots of baby pictures and stuff in there. And anyways, I was enthralled. I'm like, what is she doing? I need to know everything, and I need to know it right now. And then once you get looking, it's like, oh wow, this is huge. This is big. I am not a scrapbooker. I do not come from a scrapbooking background. Prior to that, I was doing lots with my Cricut machine and selling upcycled vintage. So for example, I take a vintage painting and add a saying to it or something. Is it, Jessica? Yeah. That's where I got started. Yeah. There, now I feel like I can glue that pocket down. And then that would be just like, yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Or it could be a flip. I'm going to do a pocket. Yes, but when you first get started in junk journaling, it can certainly be overwhelming because there's so much and there's so many different things. Like I'm going on 6 years in and I'm still like, I'm trying something new I haven't tried before. So there's so much to learn. And the beauty of it is I love the creative freedom and that there's just no real mistakes or anything. Yeah. Yes, Madeline, you know, and that's where I met you, right? Was Maddie, I met you through Jessica's collaboration that we did. We were both invited to do the Base Pages collab. And the reason you stand out to me is because I was following along and trying all the projects that everybody was doing. And one of them was not yours. It was somebody else's. I think it was actually, I don't know her name, but the lady from Thrifty Day. It was her project, the frame one, but you had done it. And I thought it was your day. I don't know. So I copied you first and tagged you because I was tagging all of the creators. That's why you stand out to me. Yeah, that was a fun project. Base Pages. For those of you watching, if you go to my playlist, I have a section for collaborations, and the Base Pages, PT, stands for Paper Terrace. 15 days, 15 different ideas. There's some really neat ideas there for things to add to your junk journals. Really cool idea. Okay, so look at how thick we are so far. What are we at? There may be a 1/4 inch. Yep. This is neat. I can see where this could also be very addictive, and this would be a really great thing for me to use my test prints up. Got a pocket in there. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but this is how I'm doing it. Okay. Let's try some of this shipping ratty paper. Why not? Why not? Now I see this is taller on the left than the right, so I feel like I need something underneath that to balance. Let's try this little book. That's better. Just to raise this up so that it's not like lopsided, trying to glue things to it. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or not, but I went and met a lady yesterday in Tillsonburg. So I'm from Norfolk County. She's from London. And we decided to meet in Tillsonburg halfway in front of Goodwill, of course, a thrift store. And I need some more paper strips. And she's commissioned me to do a journal for her. Just kind of like just a memoir of her life. And her mom saved so much of her stuff, like her hospital bracelet and ribbons from school, so many things. And so this is quite an honor. She gave me a basket full of stuff and gave me full permission to cut, paste, do whatever, and make a memory journal for her of her life, basically. So my first job is going to be, like, I'm tickled because she was one of my first customers and just found me on Facebook back then. This is long before I think even before Instagram, definitely before YouTube. But she was one of my first customers and ordered a journal from me, a botanical. They own a garden center. So I did this botanical journal for her, and I remember out of those old green file folders, hanging file folders. I loved it. It had a wrap around. It was really, I remember that journal. But my skills have come a long way since then, so I hope she's pleased. And we'll see. But how sweet is that? 5 years ago, I checked her messages. It was 2020. She was one of my very first journal customers. And now she's come back for another journal. So that's just so sweet. So Janine, she also gave me permission to make it into a little YouTube series. It's going to be called Janine's Journal. And I'm going to take you through the process of how I sort her stuff, hopefully in some sort of chronological order, and it's going to be a large journal because she gave me a ton of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. There's no plan. Oh, look, there's the perforation right there. I can probably just, can I? Yep. Take it right off. So that's what I will have coming up. I do have a 3-day holiday coming up as well, going with my girlfriends to a cottage. I'm excited about that. I have such a small circle of friends, like very small outside of you guys, like real life people. Not that you're not real. And those are the two friends I'm going with to one of them, their sister's cottage. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to go to the Sauble Beach area, Saugeen Shores. This is fun. Okay, can we do it with lace? Should we try it with lace? I bet we can. I wonder, we're experimenting, so let's try. What do I have handy? What am I talking about? Everything's handy. I love your magnetic book page that travels. I make them for each of my signatures. Magnetic book page. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Christina, can you remind me? Always to lace. Okay, so this is the dollar store cloth ribbon. Love it. Lace. I love the color. I use it a lot. So let's just give this a try. Christina, can you tell me what you're talking about there? Yes, Maxima says yes, let's use lace. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm a little slow on the uptake sometimes, so. Magnetic book page that travels. Are you talking about the pullout? I'll grab another journal and see what you're talking about. All right, so this would go there to there. Let's give this a trim. And I use art glitter glue for my lace too. It works just fine. Like I have other glues, of course, like the 3-in-1 Beacon, and they're just so smelly and messy. And if I can get away with using my art glitter glue for something, I will. 100%. So again, it lasts a really long time, even with me using it for everything. You've got just a little moment there of wiggle time to maneuver your piece. Extra bead there, there. Oh, I went a little wide on my glue. It's okay, we'll do that. It has magnets and it folds over a page. I don't think that was me, Christina. I don't use magnets. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have, but it's not a regular thing for me, so you might just have me mixed up with somebody else, but that's okay. It is a cool idea. There we go. All right, so let's just get that pushed down. It might need a clamp for a minute. That would probably be the wise thing to do, right? So that works just fine. Yes, I love it. Okay, let's just clamp that for a minute, and then I will show you a couple things I'm working on. I call them magnetic page edgers. Oh dear, now I feel bad. You'll have to remind, I can't recall. It could just be my age. I'm sorry, Christina. You'll have to remind me. Page edgers. I'll have to check. Let me think about that, and I'll see if it comes to mind. Okay, so I'm working on, this was just, I just took one of my old journal covers I had made. I have a whole bunch of wallpaper samples. So this is just a piece of wallpaper, and I had the cover ready to go. And so I just was itching to make a journal, so I just grabbed some, and then I added the inside covers, and I just did a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and added, so this is not anywhere near done. I just was itching to make a journal. I only have a little bit left of my Tim Holtz paper. I don't have a lot. I'm very sad about that. I missed it when the reprint came out. Being in Canada, I didn't know about that, I guess. I just didn't follow the right people, I guess. Missed that. And now I see, of course, people selling them for an astronomical amount of money on eBay and stuff. No, thank you. Not going to do it. But, yeah, well, if y'all do me, it was somebody else. Okay. Yeah, that's okay, Christina. That's okay. I get myself confused, too. No worries. But that's this one. So I've done my usual, where I take a 12 by 12 and fold the bottom up and do the pockets and take the scoops out of them for extra space. Like here, I don't know if you can see that or not. I use my envelope punch board to remove a little notch there and here to give me, so it folds down nice, so it removes the bulk. I don't know if you've ever seen me do that, but that's one of my, see the scoop out there? That helps remove the bulk. I can show you how I do that pretty quick. Pretty quick, actually. Let me find my envelope board. I'll get these two things out and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so this was my journal, and my journals are typical size, my go-to size. My go-to size is simple. I print on 8.5 by 11, standard American US letter size, whatever it's called. So it's 8.5 tall by 11 wide. And I just simply fold my papers. I print double-sided, fold them in half, and basically that is the size of all of my journals. That's my go-to size. So therefore, this needs to be 11 wide. So I would take that off. And normally I would have my scoreboard out, and I would measure this way then, 8.5, but I'm just going to give myself a little line. Where's my bone folder? Here it is. I'm going to use this one. There. So I'm done with that. So what I would do is fold the bottom up. And of course fold this in half. So I'm going to open that back up first. My size lined up. I like to use some thicker paper like this in either the center of a signature or the outside of a signature, just to have that stability, that integrity for when you're sewing. Okay, so see how we have, it's a little bulky, right? So to remove some of that bulk, I do two things for my pockets. I take my envelope punch board, and then this is the top of the page. So I want to put a notch in here. So I'm going to flip this open, and I just line that up right into the center of the envelope punch board. And I take a notch out there like that. And then the second thing I do is I fold this back in half this way, but with the pocket open, turn it, and then I'm going to center between the crease line and the edge and stick it in again. Like that. And a little punch. So I get this notch there. But when you open it back up, you've got this kind of diamond shape. So now when I fold, I don't know if you can see that very well. Can you see that notch there? And the hole down here? By removing those two things, now this has a lot less bulk. In your journal. So that's, I do that most of my journals. I do that. Hello from very hot Phoenix. Perfect for staying inside and crafting. Yes. It's cooled off here finally. We had a real heat streak going here. What's your temperature there, Pat, in Phoenix? And then I would round my corners probably. And I don't glue my pockets shut here and here until this is sewn into my journal, because things shift and move and get pulled and whatever. I usually, it would be a good time though to notch your pockets if you wanted to do that. So with these guys, this thing. But yes, I typically don't glue my pockets shut until I have sewn my signatures in. That one. Now that one's ready to go. Yes, if there is ever another release of the Tim Holtz papers, so the memorandum, Wallflowers, I think it's called. Will you guys let me know? Somebody message me. Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, that's it really does help remove some of the bulk. Can we use this in our journal we're working on? Let's try it. I could. Why not? Why not? Okay. Yeah, that works just fine using lace. I like it. There. Or do we want this to be the outside? It's probably too small. Yep, it's too small now. I could hinge it in there somewhere. I could hinge it, right? Put a strip up there, or we could use wide washi tape. Put a strip there. We could do that. But I'm just going to continue on here. All right, let's lift it up, and we'll get a strip of paper. Upside down. That's okay. I don't know if that's straight or not. Oh no, Maddie, I don't want you to give up your pages. I just mean share with me if it's ever comes out in print again. Like, let me know so I can order some. No, I don't want to take away your Tim Holtz paper from you, because that's or if you're aware of any other creators that are, or companies or brands that have double-sided paper, like with a vintage vibe like this, let me know. I'm just not familiar with them. I guess not being a scrapbooker, I was never a scrapbooker, that could be why I'm just not, just don't know. I'm not in the know about paper. And because I do printables and print my own, I don't buy a lot of paper. All right, let's see. This is fun. I like this. I can see, this is just a practice one, but I can see where this would be another addictive project, just like that flip-flop journal we just did. Totally addictive. I also just finished a commission for my daughter's friend. She had her party last night, and it was not my usual style, and I didn't take any pictures, but it was, she's a Leo. It was she's a real journaler, that girl, so it was full of journaling space and lots of personal pictures, and her and her kids and her family. But yeah, they've been best friends since they were born, and so my daughter commissioned me to make that journal for her friend, and it was a real joy to make. It was just really not my usual style, but nonetheless still very enjoyable to make. There. Okay. Are you really? Oh, that's really sweet. But Madeline, I'm in Canada, so mailing to Canada is not, well, I don't know. You message me separately and we'll talk about that. I would love to do a swap with you or something. So speaking of, I have, right now, I am looking for a full-time member to join my design team. And I still have Teresa from Vintique Chic, and I have Cindy A. Lewis, who I also met through Jessica, and Ricky Tikitavi. She's just so busy, and she returned back to work at the Big Blue Box, she calls it, and so she was with us for a while, but just she was hesitant to join in the first place, just because she just wasn't sure she could commit to the time. And but she did do a project, and she did join, and then she was going to take a break and then come back, and then decided after all that she just didn't have the time to commit to it. So we said our goodbyes in that regard, but we're still, of course, supporting each other here on YouTube, or Instagram, I should say. But what I loved about my team, hi Cynthia, really nice double-sided paper is Blue Fern. I have not heard of that. Who makes that? Do you know? Or is that the brand? No, I have not heard of that. I'll check it out. Cynthia, thank you very much. I'm going to write that down. Blue Fern. So is that the brand, or is that the name of the pad, the paper pad? I think it's the brand. Okay, thank you. And where do you find that? Amazon, or is it from a scrapbook website? So now here's let's do this fold thing again. Let's just do this and glue this onto here. Finding something like, yeah, I would appreciate that, Cynthia, if you can let me know. It is getting difficult to find double-sided papers. It is. And I see somebody, was it the Paper Cameo or somebody else yesterday, got copied on Temu, whatever. Their designs were stolen, and good luck. I mean, you can try to get in touch with them and get that taken down and prove that you have to prove that it's your design, but they'll just open up with another name and sell it again. It's because of that that I refuse to buy anything from Temu, or Shein. Same thing. Because you're dealing with another country, you're dealing with they know that you're not going to get a lawyer and fight that. They know that. It's a shame. I guess it's maybe a compliment if your stuff is copied too, but at the same time, it's a crying shame that it really is. It's really sad. Okay, I'm going to do this again where I'm just going to make this a tuck on this side. How about that? How about a tuck on the side of the page instead of a full floppy pocket? Yeah, now this I'll have room to glue down. We'll glue that one down. Yeah, it is awful, isn't it, Maddie? It's just sad. So when speaking of my design team, that is one. I don't have, my design team rules are so lax, no pressure. I hope you aim to do one project a month, but you don't have to. And it's your choice. It doesn't have to be a full journal. It could be a folio. It could be anything you like, but you get you get some free basic kits to start. And then you get a kit a month free. And yeah, you help me promote my printables, and I help promote you as a creator. That's how that, my dog might bark because the postal lady's pulling up. We'll see. Maybe she won't notice if I just keep talking. It's awful. Pat Henson, tariffs. Oh, I don't even want to talk about tariffs, Pat. I don't like getting political here, but Canada has tariffs too, so I really do not blame anyone south of the border for our current situation. Canada is to blame, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't even like talking about that stuff. And for those of you that know me, I study politics as a hobby about 2 hours a day. So I'm very informed. So I don't even like discussing it because I know there's so much media. Never mind. Let's just not even talk about it. Not talking about it. Okay. It's okay, Pat. I just, yeah, let's not talk about it. Okay. It's going to work out. Everything will be fine. It'll all get worked out. If we can get my Prime Minister to smarten up. Okay. And some tea-dyed paper. Yeah. So, yeah. So my rules are, in my design team, we don't talk politics. And, which to me stands to reason because the USA is divided just as much as Canada is divided, left and right, basically. And if you offend one, if you're not offending one side, you're offending the other. So I like to remain completely neutral in that regard. And I don't like to, I don't allow, I would never add someone to my team that talks politics on their page. Just don't go there. Pretty. I think that's going to be a nice little flip. Let's add that. Here's some. That's a test print that did not make the. Here's some strips here. Oh, they're small. Here, this is what I was going for. I want that. These might be a little narrow. Try this one. Yeah, do you know that it is cheaper for me to ship something in from Canada to California than it is for me to ship something to a neighboring province in Canada? Our shipping is really expensive. I agree, Maxima, it is expensive, but for me to ship to the USA is cheaper, like my postage rates, than it is for me to ship in Canada. It's bizarre. And that's on Canada. That's our postal rates here. It's got nothing to do with the US. Now that de minimis thing that's being removed at the end of August 29th, is it? Where the US had like an $800 de minimis, so anything under $800 that I would just ship would not be subject to any duty, taxes, that sort of thing, unless of course my company, I'm not big enough to charge provincial taxes here or federal taxes. But did you know that Canada also has a de minimis rate, and our threshold was only 125, and I think it still is 125, where the US was much more generous with an $800 de minimis limit. I know it's being removed. I have a feeling that will get that'll change, but as of the end of August, that apparently is being removed. But Canada, for you to ship to me, our plateau was 125. So the US has been much more generous in that regard. This is my safe place away from politics, exactly. That's what I mean. I enjoy it. I love it, the research, and I love to find the truth. And I am not swayed by media whatsoever. And it's exactly, that's why you never hear me talk politics really and hear it all. Yeah, and I don't like it when my commenters do either, because I don't think, we don't judge people on religion, who they love, anything. So why would we do that about politics, right? Why would we judge someone on their political views? Ridiculous. Okay, that is cool. How thick are we? This is coming together pretty quick. How long have we been on here? About an hour. And I'm yapping. That's a 1/2 inch now. So that's a nice little base start to a journal. So we'll do a couple more pages and then we'll add a cover, and we'll add a spine cover of some sort. I wish these were printed double-sided, but it is just practice, so. Yep, I agree, Maddie. This unites us all, regardless of our political views. That's why I love your Etsy shop, so I can print your kits by myself. Yes, so I'm right there with you, Maxima. I agree. Building yourself a digital library is so smart, in my opinion, because you don't have to print an entire kit. If there's just one page that you like in particular, or one page of ephemera that you use on a regular basis, you can just print that one page. You don't have to print. Plus, you get to print on whatever kind of paper you want. So if you want to use regular copy paper, or if you want to print on cardstock, newsprint, vellum. That's one thing. I just love the versatility of printables. I really do. So that is why in my Etsy shop I have one section that's called basic journal pages, because I feel like those are the ones that you would, it's a good start to someone's digital library, if you want to think of it that way, because there are things that you would use over and over and over and over again. So you pay, you know, $3, $5 for a kit, whatever it works out to if you're using coupons, and then you pay it once and it's yours. So unlike scrapbook paper, you buy the paper pad like my Tim Holtz stuff, you use it once, it's gone. So that's that is definitely one of the pros of using printables. Oh, sorry, Pat. I didn't mean to infer that. Yeah. I'm just used to people dropping that. The rubber bug. And then drop down to scrapbook paper and you'll see Blue Fern Studio 49 in Market. Oh, okay. The rubber bug. Thank you, Cynthia. Thanks for that information and for sharing that with us, Cynthia. I'm going to check that out. I appreciate it. Maggie's Atelier Papier. I'm in love with the lavender kit and the new fall kit. Aw. Thank you. Are you talking about Let's Ask Autumn? That one's from last year, but it's, yeah, I just was advertising it again. I love that kit. I've done some really neat folios with that kit. I love the colors. Love, 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 love it. Okay, now I need something a little higher. I'm gonna have to grab something else. Let's see what we have. Here is a little pad of paper I got thrifting, or a couple pads of paper. One Who Plants a Garden Plants Happiness. Aren't they cute? I thought they would make really great tuck cards. How's that for height? A little high. There. A little high. Let's try this one. This isn't as thick. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, so I did, back to the Temu thing. I have, when you're a YouTube creator, you can ask what words or anything you want blocked from when the advertising. You have no control really on where, when, and where. Well, you have some, but I can't. The advertisements that someone will see on a YouTube video are not going to be the same advertisements that I see on my YouTube. It is definitely the algorithm in play there. So they will show ads that are appropriate to your watch history, that sort of thing. So if you don't like the ads you've been getting, go to your history on YouTube and clear your search history for starters. But as a content creator, I have asked to block Temu and Shein. If you get those ads, let me know. They're supposed to be blocked from my page. Okay, let's try one of these envelope things here. Oh, here's one already cut. Bye, Pat. Oh, what's your doggy's name? Yes, same thing, Maddie. I have met so many people. I'm kind of a loner, so I have met a lot of people here. made some friends. You get to know your regulars, like on your YouTube. Like, oh, I can see your doggy's picture in your profile. Oh, cute. Maybe this will be a flip this way or on the inside. Let's do that, and then let's do a cover. Back to my design team. I till the end of August, I'm accepting applications. There's no actual application form. It's just basically send me an email if you're interested, and let me know if you're interested in doing just a one-time project. Like, so I have, like, for the month of August, I have Diane from Faith Art Design. She did a project, so she just did one. She's not a full-time design team member, but she's a guest design team, a guest on our design team. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know. I'm also will select someone for my team soon. I've got a few applications in. I have a few people that have said, oh, I wish I don't have enough experience. Let me decide that. If you're not sure, let me decide that. And maybe as practice, if you're practicing on, you know, doing YouTube videos, or maybe you're not a YouTube guy, maybe you're a Facebook guy. I have representation on Instagram and YouTube, and Cindy also has a Facebook group. So there's definitely an area open there for Facebook, if somebody is more active on Facebook with your creations. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Anyways, all those things I take into consideration. So it's I would love to expand my team. And if I can't decide on one, maybe I'll take two. We'll see. A cover. Let's see. Let's grab one of these guys. Let's see if it wraps all the way around. I don't know if it will. If I leave it at 12 inches, yes, it will. Okay, let's do that. Make a cover, and I am going to trim that. All right. Oh, you know what? Let me just rethink that. I think I'm going to do the cloth, the ribbon closure that I've seen. So 5.5 for a cover. Let's just go a little bigger, like 1/8 of an inch bigger. And then this one, 5.5 with an extra 1/8. Oops. I don't do TikTok either, Connie. So far, no, I haven't. Canada does not allow us to monetize TikTok. Canada does not allow us to, Canada has some strict rules about, we can't share news on Facebook, on socials. They just, like, even if I were to go to a YouTube page, like one of our major ones like CBC or something, and I wanted to share one of the stories or something, it blocks you. It doesn't allow it. That's a Canadian thing. They have rules, sadly. Okay, so that was the front cover, and then this was the back cover. If I do this, line it up, and then I'm going to clip that. And then let's use that ribbon again. I have to open a new one. Let's use this one again. You're not a TikToker either, Maddie. Yeah, I think the exposure would be great, but I think you're opening yourself up to. I'm sure you guys are aware that the junk journal community is very friendly. There's hardly ever any nasty comments, and I don't like to call them out at all. I usually just ignore them if they're so few and far between, unless I think it's, you deserve to be called out. Like when another artist says something rude, you're getting called out because you should know better. But for the most part, I don't have, you consider the source, but there's hardly ever any nasty comments. Hardly ever. But I think if I were to open myself up to TikTok, I think I would be opening myself up to, it's just logistics. It's just numbers. It's just like the difference between Canada and the US. Canada is like 40 million people and you have 380 million people or whatever. Like it's just numbers, right? Okay, so this is only going to be attached to the cover, the front cover and the back cover, and I'm not gluing the spine. It'll be a floating spine, I guess you would call that. Now you could do this with fabric also, I think. Hi, Colleen. You don't do TikTok either, eh? Yeah, I haven't. Not to say I won't. We'll see if the rules. I know there's, people have been talking about. Did I do that upside down? No. People have been talking about possibly purchasing, like Kevin O'Leary. They're talking about they're working on buying TikTok. So if it was in different hands, maybe. But right now, no, I'm not really. I think you open yourself up to those Temu issues, really. And you're just too small to fight stuff like that. So I do use a verified. I don't want to lose my Instagram after taking a long time to build that and work on that. So I try to protect that account as much as possible. I pay the monthly fee to be, what's the word with the little blue? What do you call that? Yeah, I agree, Maddie. I think we might see, if we see a different owner, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Are you guys on Rumble? Is anybody on there? I think there's a few. I don't think there's near as many junk journal creators on there, but verified. Thank you. Thank you, Maddie. That's my 50-year-old something brain. 50 something, getting closer to 60. There, what do you think of that? Okay, so it's floating. It's not attached to the spine, but it, oh, so that's not going to work, is it? All I did was glue it to the thing and not to my, so I have to do that on the inside as well then? I didn't hear you. Did anybody? Hey, you gave me a bindle. What's that? What's a bindle? Oh, you'll have to tell me, Maddie. Okay, let's try this again. The lace is pretty. Oops, haha, yeah. So I guess I do this, and maybe I do that with fabric, or would I do that with paper? Would I do this? I think I should. Yep. Okay, let's do that. See, we're learning together. I told you. I told you. Let's get that lifted up. Yes, I think that's the way to go. And then I've got this paper here. It's crooked. Okay, so that's what I have coming up. I'm going to be doing that Janine's journal. That'll be fun. I'll be doing that as a YouTube series. Oh, the bindle. Yeah, that's right. Ah, that's right. Now we're even. the little hobo sack. A bindle, of course. Yeah. I used to work in heritage and culture, and there was a lot of terms that were new to me, and like, what is that? And I came from an administration background, and my coworkers were, like that's what they studied in school or whatever. So they have museum backgrounds or that sort of thing. So I was always the ones like, what are you guys talking about? Because my background was accounting and administration, and I landed in heritage and culture. My last job was at the worked at the art center, and then my very last job was at the archives, our local archives. So you want to talk about drooling every day at work, I was surrounded by old books and old ledgers and old photos, and every time a new collection came in that someone donated and it was getting cataloged, just like you were oohing and ahhing over everything. But the recycle bins, I sure did score in the recycle bins. So when a new collection came in and they were transferring it from whatever paper package it came in into an acid-free storage medium, then I would be able to raid the recycle bins and that's where I got all those old vintage photo envelopes and stuff. So you'll see me use those from time to time. Those are from the recycle bin at work. I should go see them once in a while and go through the recycle bin. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. Nobody else wants it. There, that's gonna work. So paper closure on the hinge on the inside, and then do the, I would have been better off to do that and then do my ribbon spine. It's working out, but this one is crooked, but I'm going to use it. I am still going to use it. How'd you make out with your live haul, Maddie? You had some really good stuff. I know in the USA, you guys have a lot more like estate sales. We very rarely have estate sales here. Very different. I'm always jealous. Teresa and her husband go to estate sales and they find some really cool stuff. She's in Texas. You know, some of you in the US are further north than I am. I'm in southwestern Ontario, so you actually live further north than I do. I shipped something, someone purchased a journal recently and I shipped it up north, but they were in the US. That's funny. We say, fun fact, the very southern point of Ontario, which is Point Pelee, is the same latitude marker as the very northern tip of California. Did you know that? In southern US. Oh, is it, so it's a southern thing, is it then, Maddie? Like yeah, kind of. Why do you think that is? Established earlier? I don't know. Or there we go. So it's a little crooked. So yes, lesson learned. I should have done my paper hinge on the inside before doing the spine on the outside. But that's kind of cute. So what did we end up with? And now I can go through and add, you know, like pockets and flips and things. That would be, I can decorate those white pages for sure. We can add stuff to that. Connie's in Ohio. I think I knew that, Connie. I think I knew that. Yeah. You find amazing sheets and books mostly. Southern Living was headquarters here, so I have access. Ah. Lucky girl. Are ephemera here or ledgers generally? Oh, yeah. Oh, Colleen's in Ohio too. Yeah, I like, when I go to our antique stores here, like even my local ones, there's lots of Canadian ephemera. The problem is it's sold one piece at a time, like one old Valentine at a time or something. And it's just not economical. If it's for my collection of things I want to keep, sure, I would pay it. But otherwise, it's too expensive because by the time we add 50 pieces to our journals, and if they cost us $1 a piece, well, that's $50 of supplies. So it needs to make sense. Ohio evidently is a great place for a paper ephemera. So this, for example, is from Winnipeg, which is Canada. And it's a subscription card that it looks like you would mail in. And there's a little envelope attached on the inside. But I only paid 50 cents for that. And I just thought that was really sweet. But normally I wouldn't buy things singles. My motto is one item, multiple pieces. So that's kind of when I'm shopping here. But yeah, so I would like to, I'll wrap things up now, but that was kind of fun. I can see where I need some practice doing that to make it, you know, take my time and make sure these are even. And but that comes together pretty nice. So if you don't like to sew journals, and that's going to stay, of course, my glue is, I have full faith in my glue. But yes, I think this is kind of a neat way to do this. Now the only thing I'm not sure about is if you wanted to do some layering and add shorter pieces. And then if you hinged it, well then your hinge is only going to go from here to here, and then that might make this loose. So I think the recommendation from, I think it was Meg's Journals, was to make sure that your paper hinges go top to bottom. They're full height of your journal. Oops. I'll fold out like that. And then I'm getting to the end here. Yeah, it's a little wonky. Yeah, that would take some practice, but I think this is fun. Another new thing to learn. Could also be done really cute with smaller journal sizes, like a little notebook size like this would be really cute. So maybe I'll do that. That's the right height for doing, those could be covers. That would be really cute. I've done ribbon hinge journals before, but Kayleen just came across an old ledger at a thrift store. That was a real treat, I bet, because you don't see those at thrift stores too often. Yeah, I kind of have a rule of thumb of $5, so that's my max when I'm buying books or ledger books or things like that. Yeah, and I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with all of this trade stuff, and once things get settled down, and I'm just kind of waiting to see, because I had opened up White Ruby Keepsakes, which is named after my dog, and it was a second Etsy store for physical products. I was going to start selling my journals there and junk journal supplies. However, then we hit the Canadian postal strike, which lasted forever. So that really, I couldn't ship anything without, you know, using a courier. And that was the birth, I think, of all of these new courier companies that are popping up in Canada. And now we just finished another potential strike, and they're still not quite settled on things, and I think you'll see it go privatized. Anyways, so I closed my shop because it wasn't open very long, because that counts against you in the algorithm if you don't have any sales. And I couldn't ship, and I knew I couldn't ship, so I just closed it, and I'll start again. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens, because it might be a Canada only if I can't ship to the US, or if there is a tariff on things coming to the US, if it's something we can swallow, like 10% or something, that might not be too bad. That's no different than paying a tax, in my opinion. Like, we pay 13% tax here on everything we buy. So yeah, and then with the US exchange, it's still cheaper. I think that's why most of my sales are US, right? With the US exchange, it's like 60 cents on the dollar. So it's much more economical for you to buy from Canadian if you're in the US. Like, for you guys, it's a good deal. So it might not be a problem. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it all irons out. I'm sure it will soon. Okay. Okay, so that's all I want to announce was, and I'll show you this, what Janine gave me. When I met her yesterday, she gifted me with this bundle, which was really sweet of her. Look at this. All these, look, even the bag's vintage. All these vintage baby cards. There's so many of them. Wasn't that sweet of her? They're great. So I am full on, I have full stock here for my next baby journal. They're just so sweet. Look at this little guy. This is great. I was so thoughtful of her. So that's the girl who I'm doing the journal for. So she's parting with these. And she gave them to me, and I just thought that was so sweet of her. Look at them all. Look at the baby. Look at the bunny. Just gorgeous. Like, ooh, ah, vintage. Bye, Maddie. Nice chatting with you. Look at the little rattle. How cute is that? Okay, well, I will let y'all go. So yes, keep in mind that my applications are open till the end of the month for design team members. Watch for Janine's journey here. I'll be doing that soon. And if anybody has any questions or anything you want me to work on, you guys just let me know, okay? Take care, y'all. See you later. Bye now.